Moment, let it refresh. Yeah, maybe over there's a good spot.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure it
Alright, we are live.
Fantastic.
Beginning, alright, prayer.
Let's go.
Ka halal Yahweh, Hashem Yoshai, Hashem Rakakwadash, Brak the Yahweh, Brak the Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
Shalom.
The honors to the elders of Jesus, great wisdom. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom to the elect, the told tribes who are scattered abroad. Greetings.
Greetings.
We call ourselves a hopeful elect because we do not know who the elect are in these times. So, brother, if you didn't see Elder Yawakana, he did a teaching this morning.
He did.
Very edifying indeed. Ezekiel 38, all that I ran. Could you go into it, brother? I'm going to look for a rock.
All right. Yes. Elder Yakana went into that teaching for Ezekiel 38. There were 3 points that were recapped. Okay. Number 1, President Trump issued to bomb Iran. That took place last night. Number 2, Netanyahu praised America and rather Trump for doing that because he felt that they were taking a stand with Israel against against darkness, so to speak. And then number 3, Iran decided to say, now that happened, they're going to go meet with President Putin in Russia to find out what to do next, as in a retaliation because of that devastation attack for the U.S., of course, and for Israel. But Iran also bombed Israel in retrospect, so other places were bombed in Israel as well.
Oops. Incline. Let me say incline was.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, see?
All right.
Piece of wood. So you went through it?
Yes.
So we're gonna go to Ezekiel 38.
Let's switch.
Switch. Oh, it's locked.
I can't with that. Okay.
Ezekiel 38, verse 1.
I'll be right there. One moment.
While you get that, I'm gonna read Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33.
Okay.
Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 33. And when this cometh to pass, lo, it will come, then shall they know that a prophet hath been among them.
Absolutely.
These prophecies and these scriptures, they're coming. Nothing can disannul that. Pursuant to the scriptures, you cannot stop the arm of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. He is going to bring this forth. So bring it forth, saith Yahweh of hosts, pursuing to Isaiah chapter. He was 14. Between 14, 34, 24. I believe it's 14. Go ahead.
Oh, before we go, let's bring out Habakkuk 2, verse 3.
Habakkuk.
Because everything that's going on is according to prophecy unfolding, as in the scriptures, the prophecy should be unfolding. But Habakkuk 2 and verse 3.
I got it.
All right, read that for me, brother.
For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry.
There you go. It will surely come, it will not tarry. So we're waiting for the global implementation of the micro C-HIP, which is the mark of the beast, to be implemented worldwide. We're waiting for nuclear missiles to be launched against Babylon, America, in complete destruction. We are waiting on Yahweh Shai, our Redeemer, our Savior, to come with the holy angels to save, bring salvation to the elect. Now, we don't know who the elect are, but by faith, we call ourselves the hopeful elect, that by faith, when Yahweh Shai comes back, we will be saved. So with the brother, thank you, brother, for reading that for me. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 3, when it says the vision is yet for an appointed time, those are the visions that were written down, prophecies in the Bible. They each have their appointed time and when it's going to come to pass. But at the moment, though it tarries, so there's a little bit of tarrying because it all is going to be unfolded in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's timing. It will surely come. It will not tarry. So just because we woke up today and Babylon is still in existence does not mean it's not going to be destroyed. That destruction is coming. That micro C-HIP will be implemented globally. And Yahushai is coming back for his elect to bring salvation. These things are going to happen. So though it tarry, wait for it because it will surely come. It will not tarry. All right, but that's going to bring us into Ezekiel 38.
38.
I got it right here,
Go ahead.
starting at verse 1. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him.
So, Son of Man set their face against Gog, the land of Magog. That's the Russians. That's the Russians and their
Russians.
land. The chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, ex-Soviet Union
Union
states,
states.
and prophesy against him. Prophesy not with him or for him, but against him. Jehovah Shemashai is against these Russians, but he's going to use them for his will. Next
All
verse.
right, verse 3. And say, Thus saith the Lord, power Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. Tubal.
We went through Meshach and
Tubal,
Tubal,
no verse.
ex-Soviet states. Go ahead.
All right, verse 4. And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords.
And I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws. Russia's going to go back to that old Soviet Union state, like how they was with that power and that fierceness.
Mm-hmm.
That's why they was in Ukraine, still in Ukraine with that war, to bring them back to that warlike energy that they had with the USSR, that warlike state. Horses, army, they got tanks and so on and so forth. Horses, horsemen, their weapons, their military, their tanks, all that. Go ahead.
All right,
Wait,
verse.
swords is and all of them handling swords.
Swords.
Mine they swords the gun. Got a lot of other weapons though. So they're gonna have their guns, their AK-47s,
Mm-hmm.
all that.
Con. All right, verse. And then one thing, if you haven't, go back and research the USSR and look at how they used to rule, and then that will give you a better indication of what's going on now and how the Yahweh Bashim and Hawashai has them going back to the way that they were. Verse 5. Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet.
Who's Persia? Persia is Iran.
I, yeah, they're the subject of the topic of the day.
Yep,
Iran.
that's what Ezekiel 38 is saying. That's what Iran's doing. They're going to see Putin in Moscow.
Moscow.
Before Iran was called Iran, before the year 1935, they was known as Persia.
Persia.
The name got changed in 1935 to Iran.
Right. And this is 2025. So 1935 to 2025 is not that much of a big deal. And if anybody's any familiar with games or movies with the Prince of Persia and so-called of Persia, that's who that's talking about. It's talking about Iran.
Ethiopia. Libya is put with them, all of them with shield and helmet, battle array, military stuff.
Okay, verse 6. Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee.
Goma is who? Turkey.
Turkey.
And all his bands, the house of Togarmah, the north quarters. That's the ex-Soviet Union states. And all his bands, and many people with thee. And many people with thee.
All right, verse 7. Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself thou, and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a God unto them.
Be thou prepared. Russia has to be prepared for the fight America, because America is in a force to be reckoned with in its own accord by itself. America is a force to be reckoned with, so you got to prepare for that. But she also got to prepare. Russia also has to prepare for these other nations that are going to come with Russia
Mm-hmm.
and confederate against America.
Come.
You're going to have the North Koreans there with, they're going to fire nukes upon America as well. Russia's going to be a guard. You see that happening with Iran. Prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Russia has a lot of nuclear capabilities, more than the
Yes.
USA. And they have, through the research, you'll find out Russia has more nuclear weapons than America.
Mm-hmm. Don't let America fool you.
Next.
All right, now we're going to go to verse 8. After many days thou shalt be visited in the latter years, that thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword, and is gathered out of my people
Many
against
people.
many people, against the mountains of Israel, which have always been waste. But it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them.
Be visited. Next verse.
Okay, 9. Thou shalt ascend and come like a storm. Thou shalt be like a cloud to cover the land. Thou and all thy bands, and many people with thee.
Many people with thee, the Russians. Hmm. Verse 10.
Okay. Thus saith the Lord power Yahweh, it is also come to pass. It shall also come to pass that at the same time shall things come into thy mind, and think an evil thought.
That evil thought, whoever the leader of Russia is, right now it's Putin. They're going to think that evil thought and fire nukes upon America.
Um,
But before that, there's going to be a war in the Middle East, which is where the Valley of Jehoshaphat. The Valley of Jehoshaphat is the Middle East, pursuant to the scriptures. This war is going to start out as a conventional war in the Valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East. They're going to be warring. They're going to come and all that, like a storm and all that. They'll be warring in the Middle East. And then the leader of Russia, which is right now, it could be Putin, which right now is Putin. The leader of Russia right now is Putin. The leader of Russia at that moment in time will think an evil thought and fire nukes upon America. Verse 11.
all right.
You got precept?
Yep. Joel chapter 3 and 2.
Go ahead.
That the brother was just talking about. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. And then the other one, uh,
That was Joel 3 2,
that
brother.
was Joel 3 and 2.
Oh my, this device is heating up.
Mine, I know it's hot out here, but that's okay.
It's not good. Yeah. I also gather all nations and will bring them into the valley of Jehoshaphat, which is the Middle East. There's going to be a war in the Middle East. It's going to start off as a conventional war, then escalate to nuclear war, and the leader of Russia is going to think an evil thought. And if the leader of Russia at that moment in time is Putin, then Putin is going to think an evil thought. The Israelites have been scattered. Heritage Israel, yeah. Parted my land, state of Israel. Land of Israel, the promised land is parted between heathens, trodden down of the Gentiles until the time when the Gentiles be fulfilled, according to the New Testament. Yeah, the word there for plead ain't truce.
Mm-mm. It's not going to be a plead like I beg you or please do this or please do that. No, 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 no.
A fight. It's gonna be a fight.
So in that passage of scripture, when you see plead, think of fight, think of battle, think of I'm coming to destroy you because I want to save my people.
I'm gonna go to the Blue Letter Bible real quick.
While the brother gets there, I'm going to read Luke chapter 20, verse 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and they shall be led away captive into all nations. That happened when it was 70 AD. And Jerusalem will be shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. So that's what's going on now. That's who's in Jerusalem now. Gentiles, so-called Israelis, Muslims, and whoever else wants to stake a claim that they have a claim to the land. Those are all Gentiles. You have Christians there as well, thinking that they belong there because of Christianity and the false doctrines of Christianity by grafting themselves to the Israelis. So all of this is all coming to a close soon until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Now, when we read the scripture for the valley of Jehoshaphat, let me get that back. I wanted to make one.
Joel 3 2.
Joel 3 and 2, where it says at the last sentence, whom they have scattered among the nations, who was scattered, the Israelites, we were scattered among the nations and parted my land. We didn't part the land, they parted the land. They started to divide and give sections to all these different and say, you take this section, you take this section, you take this section, and we'll take this whole big section right here, and then we'll act like we belong here, and then we'll act like we are the people. And that's what's been going on. But that time is coming to an end. Go ahead, brother. I'm finished.
Joel 3:2, the word therefore, what was it? Plead,
Plead.
to judge, punish, govern. So punish for my people Israel. What's the Strong's G?
Strong's H 8199. Shaphat. Shaphat.
Strong's G 8199. Shaphat. Shaphat. So read it like this. I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will punish them with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So there's not going to be no peace agreement and all that.
No peace agreements, no treaties, no contracts. It's all going to be the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, executed by the Israelites to the Gentiles. So that's not going to happen until we get into the kingdom, as pertaining to 2nd Ezra 6 and 9.
Ezekiel, you got a precept, brother?
I actually, I'm going to bring it out early.
Go ahead.
Because this is what's going on.
These prophecies are coming to pass. Iran's going to see Putin, the Russia, leader of Russia. In Ezekiel 38, it talks about Iran and Russia being a coalition to come against America. Because when America did that to Iran, that's a declaration of war. That means war against you, Iran. War.
And what was the one thing that Nero over Babylon was talking about? He wanted stuff to stop. He wanted peace. He wanted people to go sit down somewhere and behave themselves. But then look how much of a hypocrite that he can be. But we all know that that's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai in all of that. This is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1. There's only one book of Obadiah, verses 3. The pride of thine heart have deceived thee, that thou dwellest in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high. That saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? That is the Edomites. That is Babylon. That is Nero. The pride that they have, thinking that they are untouchable, thinking that they can just tell everybody what to do and then they'll follow suit, because they like to bomb countries and to place their own agents in those countries, and then they can have control and a foothold. Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and though thou set thy nest amongst the stars, then I bring thee down, saith the Lord. So they also believe that if they build space stations that can be floating in the sky somewhere, that's going to save them, that they're going to exalt themselves and build their nests in the heavens and in the skies. That's not going to work either, because when Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai comes, that's also going to be destroyed.
This is what Emperor Nero said in one of his tweets. We now have complete and total control of the skies over Iran. Iran had good sky trackers and other defense equipment, but it doesn't compare to American-made, conceived and manufactured stuff.
How prideful.
The quote-unquote stuff. Nobody does it better than the gold USA. This is Donald J. Trump again. We know exactly where the so-called supreme leader is hiding. He is an easy target, but it's safe there. We are not going to take him out. He put the kill. At least not for now, but we don't want missile shot at civilians or American soldiers. Our patience is wearing thin. Thank you for your attention to this matter. And then after, he put unconditional surrender. If this ain't pride and boasting, I might not know what pride and boasting is. He's boasting and going prideful about his thing. We have the best United States military in the world. We got the best military in the world. Nobody can come up against us. Who shall bring me down to the ground? Isaiah 47 talks about, come, sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There is no throne. Come on, sit in the dust. The dust is what? Confusion. Thou shalt no longer be called tender and delicate.
All right. And all of this, we could bring out Isaiah 43, Isaiah 47 and 3.
Start verse 1, brother. That's what I was saying.
I'm going to go start 1. All right. So let's go to 1. Number 1 is coming. Okay. Verse 1 of Isaiah 47. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate.
So you gotta think about it. America has been sitting on like a throne all this time with the glory of nations, the beauty of excellency. So you just gotta imagine that. A great horse sitting like that, so, a great horse sitting like that on a throne with the beauty of his excellency and all that. The glory of kingdoms, arrayed as John the Revelator went throughout, arrayed with scarlet and all those precious stones and all
Con.
that. And then John the Revelator looked at it like, wow. Like how a man looks at a woman like, wow.
Mm-hmm.
He starts like going his mind after her. I forgot the word for it there.
Admire.
Yeah, great admiration.
Admiration.
That's what John the Revelator was doing. If a man do that, because he sees a good-looking woman, So you just gotta imagine all that sitting on the throne. People's lusting after this woman and everything.
Mm-hmm. That woman is Babylon. That's America. And all of the, I'm sorry, brother.
Go ahead.
All of the philosophies, traditions, witchcrafts, and sorceries that it offers, and disobedience. Because you can come to Babylon and be disobedient, and it's 100% acceptable. You can disobey your mothers and fathers. You don't have to listen to them. Do what you want to do. You want to live abomination life, live in the life of abomination. You want to eat abominable foods all day and night, eat abominable foods. It's your prerogative. Babylon is completely wicked, and it will be destroyed in nuclear fire.
As long as it's not hurting nobody or bothering them, you're fine.
That's the lie, because as long as it's not hurting nobody and you're fine, but who is it hurting? You're coming against Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and what he set up. So all of you 2/3 of our own Israelite people out there, you all having a good time with the abominations and fornications of Babylon, you're going to be destroyed right along with it.
Proverbs chapter 8, verse 36, but he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul. All they that hate me love death. So you just gotta imagine all this sitting on the throne, and it's like, now, sit on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Sit on this dirty ground.
That's one thing Babylon is dirty. Not physically, but more in a spiritual sense. Dirty in a spiritual sense for the fornications and abominations that are committed every second.
It's dirty.
Every second.
It's dirty physically too, with pollution.
But in this case, we're talking about the spiritual. See, that's
spiritual, yeah. I could be wrong, but I think something weird was going on over there, which makes it more spiritually dirty. You was just saying every second.
Yeah,
it's like
wherever them people is, they into something.
And all right. Sit on this ground. Sit on this dusty ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans. The Chaldeans were who? The wise men of ancient Babylon. So for hundreds of years, America has been sitting on this throne, loving it, eating it up. The beauty of the nations, all this. Everybody's like worshiping her, worshiping America, lusting after her. And she's been eating her pride and all that. Sit on this dusty ground. There is no throne. Just gotta imagine that. The great whore be like, what? There's no throne? Where? What happened? Oh, daughter of the Chaldeans. For thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. America was once seen as like a tender, delicate. And now it's being uncovered for
what it is.
For what it's been doing. The buck breaking, the slaughtering of the buffalo to starve out the Native American Indians.
The alphabet community.
It's being uncovered. Who is you got the Democrats and the Republicans. The Democrats went down in the world's eyes. They're viewed as stupid. Get that? It's in Lamentations. Where is it? Oh, shameful spearing upon thy glory.
Okay.
And even though Democrats, you got Republicans, the Republicans is now going down too. Shameful spearing is upon thy glory. America's become a laughing stock to the world. Look at Joe Biden. That man fell up the stairs. I think his spirit did that to him, though. But man, you going up the stairs. Ooh.
All right.
Ooh. Not just fell up the stairs once. Because I've done that. I fell up the stairs. No, he fell up the stairs 3 different times. Ooh.
Trying to get somewhere and keep going.
I think that was the spirit, but yeah. Then he's like, America could be described in a single word. I was like, first, yeah. But Xi Jinping, the Himalayas and the mountains. And Kamala Harris is to the left laughing. Or to the right, yeah, laughing. You can look it up, Google it. You got it?
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. Thou art filled with shame for glory. Drink thou also, and let thy foreskin be uncovered. The cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory.
Yeah, there's plenty of jokes about Emperor Nero now, the president of the United States, but this man don't know what he doing. He don't even know what he's doing. It's like, we don't know what we're doing right now. That's true. You don't know what you're doing. Nobody knows what you're doing. There's jokes about whatever this man does. It's always unpredictable. Nobody knows what he's doing. Even he himself don't know what he's doing. There's too many jokes.
You know what?
That shameful spewing upon America's glory. That whole throne that they had. Man, that thing just... Ooh. Yeah, they're no longer on that throne. That throne is coming undone. If not already undone. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no be called tender and delicate. The world is seeing now, America ain't so tender and delicate. America ain't so beautiful as it's portrayed. Sit on the ground. Sit in the dust. Here it is. Here's dust. Sit in the dust. The dust is confusion. Come down and sit in the dust. In this confusion. The serpent in the garden it would eat the dust.
And Babylon has a lot of confusion to offer.
Not that it has to. Not that the serpent in the garden had to literally eat dust and dirt. No. Dust. Dust can be dust in the scriptures. It can be what is it? It could be man, the human bodies. Then show the dust return, the spirit goes up. Written about in the Apocrypha. Dust here is referring to confusion. So, yeah, sit in that dust now, get all dusty.
A dusty person.
That's an insult.
That's an insult, because if somebody's having an argument, or if somebody's at odds with somebody, if they call the other person a dusty and then other adverbs, adjectives, and so forth, that's an insult. That's not a good insult. That's a bad insult.
You dusty. And especially America, how she was portrayed.
So
now she's dusty.
There's another word for that. You know, America's also. I'm just gonna say it this way: America is a dusty hoe, and that's just basically what it is.
Nah, I can't say you're wrong.
And Revelation 11:14. One moment, brother. The second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. There was 2 wars already took place. There's another war that's already in effect that's going to happen and go into the scale of nuclear. That's what Revelation 11:14 is talking about. The third woe coming quickly. Iran got bombed. Now they're going to run back to the God that we mention that in Ezekiel 38. They're going to run back to their God, which is Russia, and say, look, they bombed God. I said, what I said?
It's not like you said God.
I'm thinking of God in the script. We just read the script. God, Guard, God. So Iran is running back to their God, who is Russia, to say, what are we going to do now? Because we got bombed. We have to make a statement. We have to get them back and retaliate.
Iran did promise retaliation, but yes. Iran can't do it alone. They know that.
They know that.
They need protection.
They need protection.
America can be likened to the big bully of the blocks. And you got the other big guy down there. You need him to help you and all your other kids to go fight.
And what happened was that was the other scripture.
What was it?
The least.
The least of the flock, Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45 is one. There's another one as well. It's going to talk about teaming, which is the Germans. There's another one with it. But the least of the flock shall draw them out. That's Israel. And you see that happening. Ezekiel 38 is coming to pass because of the least of the flock, as you see.
Okay. And let's read it. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45. Therefore, hear ye the counsel of the Lord, for he hath taken against Babylon, which is America, which we're talking about, and his purposes, that he hath proposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And the least of the flock drew out America. The least of the flock are the small hats, the Israelis.
So whenever something going on with Israel, it's known now America will step in.
So, and that's where the pride comes in, but that's also their downfall, because there's going to be an event that's going to take place that's going to cause the destruction of Babylon. Let me get that.
So if Russia were to back up Iran, and Iran were to go to war with Israel, you touch Iran, America, we touch you. And by touch, I mean, send explosives. And America's like, we have the best military in the world. We don't care. And then Israel balls and goes to the mosque and blows up the mosques. Them Iranians gonna say, send the nukes. They might say, send the nukes. And America's gonna be like, you can't do that. You can't send the nukes. Iran's gonna say, we're doing it. And Russia's going to be like, you touch Iran, we're going to touch you.
All right. Revelation chapter 17, verse 16. And the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire.
Yeah, these 10 horns is the European Union. They increased from the original number. That's the 10 horns is the EU, the European Union, which was known as the EEC. It's like a ECC. Which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. So America's going to fall with the EU, the European Union. The beast is NATO. And the head of NATO is America.
America is also the whore.
Yeah, the whore upon the beast. But something's going to go on with this whore and these European Union and
to
all
cause
this.
them to break up with her in a sense. A Greek tragedy is to break up with her and burn her with fire.
And by that, eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Not literally.
Yeah, not literally.
They're going to be in America eating dirt.
No.
No, they're going to nuke her. They're going to nuke America.
With intercontinental ballistic missiles. And if you don't know what intercontinental ballistic missiles is, look it up, because there's different types. And there's ones that are just as stronger and potent than another. And Russia possesses the ones that are, I believe, are the strongest.
Yeah. Because they got to be a god. They got to have that power behind it. North Korea ain't going to beat God. North Korea got the best missiles there is. And now Russia is being protected by North Korea. No, it's going to be Russia.
It's Russia.
Russia's going to have the best of the best.
Yes.
They got that Satan missile. It's the Satan 2 missile to be more specific, but it's called this Satan missile.
That Satan missile is. And I believe it can reach America in about 30 minutes or under.
Russia probably got something faster.
Something like that. Once it's launched, within 30 minutes, it's game over.
Maybe 20 minutes.
That's when the hopeful elect are going to be affrighted and really look into the skies, because that's when Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai with the angels is coming to save the elect.
Where are you supposed to go in 20 minutes?
Where you going in 20 minutes? You ain't going nowhere. Until the mass traffic, no matter where you live, for people that might be trying to drive somewhere to get ahead of the explosion alone, will prevent you from even trying to get out your driveway or go down the block.
But let's just say there's no traffic that day for you. I can just imagine somebody giving a gas. Let's make their car go faster than normal. They can drive 300 miles per hour. America's pretty big. That's, man, you still get caught up in the blast going 300 miles an hour because of how big America is.
You're still gonna get caught up in it. There's no getting out of it unless you're the elect being saved by Yahweh Shai.
Yeah. You're gonna be thinking about, I should have took that trip to Thailand. They might be thinking about stuff. I really should have went to South America.
No, that's not the jewelry, the gold, the possessions, the house, the car. How much did the gas cost? You mad at somebody because they tried to do something for you? It is not going to be none of that.
Garbage cans. It's not going to matter in that day. It's going to be vain. All is vanity pursuing to scripture. All things in faith of breath. It don't matter.
As a matter of fact,
man. So all these people getting deported by Emperor Nero, they're going to be happy that day if they ain't the elect. They might be happy to an extent. Because the whole world is going to rock and forth like an earthquake, pursuant to the scriptures. But, man, all them people getting deported, man, I was just United States. I got deported. Now they're being destroyed. And that fire's going to be bright. They're going to be, you see city lights in that night. How much more America at night? Man, it screams. I don't know how far them screams are gonna go, but you be hearing screams, see fire. He said, this is a terrible judgment.
This is the book of Revelation, chapter 18 and verse 10. Standing afar off the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. Let's take it from the top. Standing afar off the fear of her torment. The fear of her torment is America going up in flames, going up in nuclear fire. Who's going to be standing afar? The merchants that are in the sea.
Radiation.
Alas, alas, that great city Babylon. America is Babylon, that mighty city. For in 1 hour is thy judgment come. For in 1 hour, your time is up.
1 hour take you do your dishes.
And it's what we read in the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2 and 3. The vision is yet for appointed time, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come to pass. Well, it's coming.
You know,
And this is what we waiting for.
you get a real sweaty gym, you go to the shower, it might take you an hour maybe because of how hard you worked out. 1 hour is short. That's quick. That's a quick judgment. Keep going on.
Let's go next.
Speedy riddance, as the
Verse
scripture
11,
speaketh.
and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore.
No more. Okay. Zephaniah chapter. What, you got anything else to say?
No, you go ahead. I didn't mean to start laughing, but the way I saw that, it became humorous. Because
That is funny.
and the merchants of the earth shall weep. You know what weep means? You're going to be in tears and mourning and crying. The merchants of the earth are those that sell to Babylon, or those that Babylon is in bed with, and mourn over her, for no man buyeth her merchandise anymore. Once America, Babylon, is completely destroyed, that merchandise will no longer be able to be purchased, because once the kingdom is established, when Yahweh Shai comes back, it's all going to be according to the scriptures of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. Let me see, King David on his throne, the elect, the 144,000 going down the line. So all of this stuff that they're enjoying now will be no more. No more alphabet communities, no more alphabet people, no more lying and scheming and drunks and slander, no more whoredom, no more fornication. It's going to be the Lord's statutes and commandments. And if you don't follow them, we're going to know, we're going to
Execute judgment pursuant to the scriptures.
There you go. I was going to say something else, but they'll probably take the video down.
Now, if you just want to say, I'm rebelling against the Bible, I'm going to do whatever I want.
Okay.
Right outside half that.
Yeah, we coming for you.
Boom.
Like that song from Cops, Bad Boys.
What you gonna do when they come for you? What you gonna do when the Israelites come for you? Men, by the way, not women and children. Not women and children. The women's gonna do womenly stuff.
The men is coming in full spiritual powers, glory, celestial powers, a new body.
That is scary.
That's no joke.
You gotta really think about it.
That got me shaking.
Yeah, that got me shaking too. The Israelite men are coming for you.
Because that's what we are waiting for and striving for, serving Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. But there are already immortal beings in place that can take us out at any time if that was the will of the Most High.
Well, you got angels around us right now. They can take us out.
You know, these judgments that's being executed in the earth, and these judgments are like horrific.
Yeah, bear come out. Too bad.
They call them freak accidents. They call them tragic. They call it unfortunate. That's all judgments. Go ahead, brother.
Yeah, the Israelite men in the kingdom are going to possess spiritual powers, men, women, and children. But we're going to talk about the men in this case. You know, I don't know how them crowns are going to look when Yahweh Shai give his elect men crowns. But boy, that stuff could be floating, looking like living fire. Like the chariots, how they're alive, they're living. Could be looking something like that, and they have a glow around them. They have that shine to their face, because wisdom maketh a man's face to shine. Apocrypha.
Yes.
Glowing faces, glowing skin, new body, indestructible looking. When they walk, they're mere presence. You know, thunder come down and lightning, people go shaking and running. Now imagine that feeling coming for you.
Yeah, that's another point, because when the thunder and lightning is in the sky with those storms, in the kingdom, that could be very well an Israelite man raining judgment on a population that decided not to do what we told them to do.
Yeah.
And then somebody's coming out the sky like that, movies and stuff, and lightning and thunder and
it's different in the movies, because the movie can show you lightning all day, but if you've been in a lightning storm, you know how it feels.
You'll know how it feels.
That's something I experienced. I'm talking from experience, and a lot of experience with lightning. Boy, that stuff be shaking. And it's all coming for you in particular. And there's no amount of bargaining, no reasoning.
And it doesn't even matter Well, to a certain extent, it does matter because when the hour of temptation comes, that's how those that receive that mark of the beast that say they're serving Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shah, if you receive that, game over for you. You was never chosen to be the elect in the first place. But for those that don't, and whatever consequences that we could face that don't receive the mark of the beast, it's still on a level that it doesn't matter because the dead in Yahweh Shai is going to rise first,
There's a
and then
precept
those that
just
are
back you up.
remaining will be caught in the air. So whatever we have to go through remaining in this life and this time that we know can't be compared to what we're going to receive in the kingdom.
You being attacked by
That's the
Satan.
Satan
You got a lot
sending
flies.
bumblebees and stuff trying to shut me up. I have to please.
Here it is.
This is 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 17. For our light of there it is. Thank you, brother. For our light affliction, which is but for a moment, worketh for us a far more exceeding and eternal weight of glory. Light affliction. That's what we're going through now. Light affliction. It might seem that it could
Rough.
be the worst affliction, the roughest affliction. I'm going through this, I'm going through that. It's not fair, whatever, but it's a light affliction. The last sentence, an eternal weight of glory. So so when we have the scale, whatever that we're going through, the eternal glory and the rewards are going to be way up here. And then once you're way up here, everything that happened way down here, that's not going to matter.
To even scale that, if you do a scale, the human mind is only but so far. The kingdom of heaven is beyond our comprehension.
Beyond the comprehension.
We're gonna get that precept out. It's 1 Corinthians 2:9. So, but yeah, your reward is greater than what you think and what you can imagine. Literally, Romans chapter 8, verse 18, brother.
For I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. That reminds me of another scripture.
It's not worthy to be compared. The very air vibrates and shakes due to your presence. And you got a lot of stuff. You just put dread on them and they're dreadful. You're gonna have a lot of abilities in the kingdom of heaven, the powers of the Q. The air is thickened. Reality warps and shapes and bends to your very whim. It looks like the trees are breathing, whatever, I don't know. You can do all kinds of stuff as you walk into that person. You can have a slower walk and just walk somewhat.
You could be floating, flying,
Yeah, floating,
levitating. I mean,
it's gonna be dreadful.
Cruising, just.
It's gonna be dreadful.
It's 1 John chapter 3, verse 2. Beloved, now that we are the sons of Allahayana, and it doth not appear what we shall be, but we know that when he shall appear, Yahushai, we shall be like him, for we shall see him as he is. Verse 3. And every man that hath this hope in him purifieth himself, even as he is pure. We are going to be like him. We're never going to go off. The scriptures and the words are going to be placed in our inward parts.
That's the new covenant with the brothers.
That's the new covenant that we ain't get there yet, but it's coming. Like Habakkuk chapter 2 and 3. Though it tarry, wait for it, for it will surely come to pass.
It will not tarry. And to be like Yahushua means you never sin again, and so on and so forth as well. Get 1 Corinthians 2:9. Not ready for it yet. But in order for all that to come, spiritual powers, the kingdom of heaven, the rulership. I know multiple brothers. I know a lot of brothers looking to more than one wife, so on and so forth. In order for all that to come, what must come before that? This nuclear war. This third
all
war.
of this got to be destroyed. All of this United States. I haven't lived in many places in the United States, so I can't, whatever. And the places that I have lived, there was some that are more favorable than others. But you know what? All that's got to go. That's got to completely go in order to get the next, because all of that is a part of Babylon and her delicacies and her philosophies, that if you live in one place in the United States or Babylon, you can do A, B, C, and D. But if you go to somewhere else, it's more laid back. You really can't do too much. It's all the same thing. Two heads of the same coin. It's all got to go. And goodbye. Good riddance.
You can actually say to hell with it, literally.
Because
what is hell? A grave or a condition. America is going to be a big grave. It's going to be a harsh conditioning because it's going to be like a fire and brimstone. I could be wrong, but it's like a bear's over there. And then people's over there too. I'm just hearing it. Black bear.
Well, honestly, where we are, they're all black bears where we are. We'll just keep an eye out. If we gotta go, we'll just grab the phone and go.
But Yahweh Shema, we
That's all
trust
right.
in Yahweh Shema Shai ultimately.
So we'll be all right.
Some people out there,
I'm not worried about them.
if it does, that's space pray prevention written about Sirach
Uh huh.
39.
I'm.
Teeth of wild beasts is in there.
Yes, it
The
is.
teeth of wild beasts example is bear.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I'll be a teacher right
Other animals. That's another way that vengeance is executed on this lands. Wild animals, bears and tigers, lions, or something, just coming out of nowhere, devouring people in areas that they were never supposed to be in. That's spirits created for vengeance. Those teeth of wild beasts.
man. If I see a dinosaur come out, that's the end of it.
Now you're going into Jurassic
I'm
Park.
going into Job. Job
But
40.
Job 40, I
It talks
know.
about Behemoth. Behemoth is a dinosaur. Ecclesiastes, it talks about the things which God hath made continue like forever. So the dinosaurs aren't extinct. Where are they? I don't know. But they're not extinct. Just to throw that. Unknown wild beast, newly created, full of a wisdom of Solomon goes into it, breathing out a certain thing, and so on and so forth. So you're gonna have all kinds of new unknown beasts coming out sooner. That's pursuing the wisdom of Solomon. So yeah, but before all this kingdom of heaven, all this what must come is this third world coming quickly.
Mm-hmm.
That must come, and part of that to happen, Iran and Russia have to be in allegiance.
And allegiance, they got to be in agreement.
So this war with this Israel-Iran thing pushed that allegiance even closer
And closer until the point where the 10 horns, European Union, Russia, and Libya and Turkey, Ethiopia all come together.
North Korea.
Oh, that's right. Don't leave them out. You know he's waiting. He can't wait.
Kim Jong-un.
The spirit is on him so heavy to blow the place up. That's why he walks around happy like this. He be smiling. Because that spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is on him to give the orders, or however the orders are going to be commanded to them, to press the button to launch those missiles.
I wouldn't be surprised if he pressed it already and didn't work. I can see that happen.
I can see that happening too. Somebody got mad and went like this to press the button, but it ain't working because it ain't time. It's an appointed time. Though it tarry, you wait for it because it will surely
go
come
to Ezekiel
pass.
39 because the angels already did that. They have records. UFOs took control of nuclear weapons. The angels, they got that. Ezekiel 39. Yahweh Shema Shai is in charge of these nuclear weapons. The angel, you got the 4 angels holding back the 4 winds of the earth so that the hurt no trees, sea, and all that. That wind is referring to nuclear destruction. So you got angels holding that back. Yahweh Shema Shai got the angels holding that back.
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel 39.
What verse you want? Want to start 1? Or just...
Yeah, 1 to 3.
1. Okay. Ezekiel 39, chapter 1, verse 1. Therefore, thou son of man, prophesy against Gog, and say, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal. Verse 2. And I will turn thee back and leave but the 6th part of thee, and will cause thee to come up from the north part, and will bring thee upon the mountains of Israel.
So to make this verse 1, it's talking about the Russians, Meshach and Tubal, ex-Soviet Union states. 2, turn thee back. Oh wait, I'm turning. All right. So you're gonna have a certain amount of military, because before this war, this third war goes nuclear. You're gonna have a conventional war in the Middle East. So the Russians are gonna send some of their troops down to the Middle East, but a 6th part, showing you how big the Russian military is.
Mm-hmm.
The 6th part is going to remain in the Russian fatherland, or the Russians might call the motherland. They're gonna stay at 6th part while the other Russian armies, troops fight in the Middle East and by Jehoshaphat. Pursuant to Joel chapter 3 verse 2, by Jehoshaphat. They're gonna go into the Middle East and all that and be fighting down there, and will bring them upon the mountains of Israel in the Middle East, all that over there. They're gonna come from the north part. Verse 3. That's the part.
And I will smite thy bow out of thy left hand, and will cause thine arrows to fall out of thy right hand.
Alright. And I will smite the bow out of thy left hand. Pow. That control of the nuclear missile is going to be smitten out of their hand. So like the brother here got a sword, I take his sword from, I'll use a bow. Brother, here, let's say he has a bow and I smite the bow out of his left hand. I took his bow. He has no control over the bow. That whole control thing over the missiles, they're not going to have that anymore. But Shimon Shai is going to be going to take control of the missiles. They're going to do what he wants them to do. If their system fails, or they try to do so, Yahweh Shimon Shai taking control of the missiles. And I caused that arrow to fall out of thy right hand. Everything control of Russia with their missiles. But Shimon Shai is going to control it in that day. Angels already showed that they can do that. You can look it up. The UFOs, they was over the nuclear facilities and all that. They couldn't control it. The humans had no power over the angels controlling it.
That's right.
I think they call that technokinesis, whatever you call it, but power over technology. Because the angels, they have power over technology.
That's right. Everything that was given to Esau to put him on that pedestal, to whip us into shape, so to speak, it all came from Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. And you better believe that the angels have power over that
more than Esau. Somebody's about to somebody about to be put to death in a car accident. So you have the radio turn on, highway to hell. Highway to hell. You send left-hand angels, like in ancient Egypt, you had the plague of darkness. America's gonna be smitten with plagues as before. Let's get that out. I'm back up what I was saying.
Right, plagues as before.
Smitten with plagues as before.
Now, where did the plagues first hit? They hit ancient Egypt.
Oh man, I can't pull it out. See if you can get it.
Okay.
It's in 2nd Esdras.
Yes.
Smite Egypt with plagues as before.
Yes.
Oh wait, let me see the little hotspot.
Is it on?
It doesn't turn off by itself.
That's Satan, see?
Satan, prince of the power of the air, the scripture speaks about.
Did it come up for you, or you need? Hold on.
It might take a while a bit.
Okay.
Prince of the power of air, sons of disobedience, as the scripture speaks about. Because the word there for children, New Testament there is a masculine. That's why I say sons. But the women and children disobedient too.
That's 2nd Esdras 15 and 11.
Read it.
But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all of the land thereof.
I'm not ready for this yet.
Okay.
But, yeah, I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. Is this on the left hand side or the right hand side, brother?
This is the right hand side.
Who is the right hand side of Yahweh? Yahweh Shai. He's on the right hand side of the Father. There's other scriptures to back that up with the right hand of Yahweh, bringing us out of captivity. And smite Egypt. Egypt is where now? You have the ancient Egypt, which is a literal place, but America is also known as Egypt in the scriptures. Spiritually Sodom and Egypt, pursuant to Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. Smite Egypt with plagues as before. Part of the plagues of ancient Egypt was what? Read it, brother.
Psalm 78 and 49. He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation and trouble, by sending evil angels among them.
The Most High sent evil angels among them, ancient Egyptians. So America's going to have that same fate. You're going to have apparitions here in Babylon. And destroy all the land there. All right, let's get that. Wisdom of Solomon. Strange apparitions, which they were seeing demons in the dark to make it simpler.
Pretty much. Wisdom of Solomon chapter 17 and verse 3. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions.
Strange apparitions, one may say ghosts. When you was a child, you may have seen that shadow person in the corner of your room staring at you. Sleep paralysis, you see the people seeing demons and stuff. Those are strange apparitions. So America's going to get smitten plague with that. So that's like America's being smitten plague with that. And the angels is like, there's a radio by and they put Thriller on. This is Thriller.
I knew you was gonna
say. And they scan all the people doing the strange apparition stuff, the demons, they see all this stuff, but Thriller's playing in the background. Not saying they'll do it, but you give an example.
Just an example.
The angels have power over technology. Because those strange apparitions are coming to America. And they're going to scare these people.
Yeah, it's coming to a city near you. A block, a city, a stoop, a curb, a bus stop, train station, everything. Grand Central included.
You hear about stories and stuff be happening in woods. It's forest. You're gonna have them in forest and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'm in the mountains safe. I'm in here.
Mm-mm-mm.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. They be scared out their mind because those apparitions are coming.
There's an actual place called Appalachia. I don't know where it's supposed to be located, but the place is called Appalachia. And people that go there say that they see strange, I think they call it strange visions or strange figures. They say something along those lines. That's judgment. No matter where you go to, when it's time for you to receive that judgment, you're gonna get it.
Most people have seen evil angels and stuff. Even when they were children, they seen the shadow people. A bunch of brothers can tell you, can attest to that. A bunch of people, so on and so forth. All right.
Really?
I said I'll bring out 1 Corinthians 2:9.
Yes.
Let's get this on this one.
I think it's over here.
This is proving that
Yeah.
what we go through now is not way to be compared.
1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 9. But as it is written, I have not seen, nor ear have heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which Yahweh hath prepared for them that love him.
Now that have entered into the heart is mine. Nobody's ever seen anything like the kingdom of heaven, never the reward of the elect, heard about it, even thought about it. You know, you go to think in imagination,
Mm-hmm.
you think about the Q, you think about mythology,
Yeah.
Zeus, the Greek gods. What were their powers? They're fake. The Greek gods are fake. I say that. They are fake. But you look at the power that was written down for them. The power
Mhm.
of Thor, lightning, hammer, Captain America. Who's another superhero that's superpower besides Superman?
Charles Xavier.
Charles
He
Xavier.
was the most powerful psychic.
The Phoenix. They had the Phoenix that's female, but man, you could melt an entire city in seconds. And all this other stuff in the Q and beyond there. It's gonna be greater than all that. We don't know how it's gonna be. We know I'm prophesying part of the scripture to speak about.
That's right.
It's going to be amazing. You know, you preach about it, all that, but it's going to be far greater than what we can imagine. So our reward, hopefully I'm the elect, our reward is going to
Hopefully.
be greater than what we can think. It's not way to be compared.
Mhm. And it's something to look forward to. It's something not to be down about, that there are going to be destruction and wars and rumors of wars on this side. Yahweh Shai told us in the at different times what was going to be the signs of the coming of for him coming back.
Yeah, nothing can disannul that. Nothing can disannul what Yahweh Shai has put. Wars and rumors of wars. The scriptures get that wars and rumors of wars. I'll get this for you.
Don't let that bother you. Don't think that that's a bad thing. That's a good thing.
That's
That's
a
how
good-
we know our Savior is coming back.
For the elect, it's a good thing.
That's a good thing.
For anybody else,
it's bad.
You better know.
But you know what?
That's bad.
We
yeah.
can't help that.
We can't.
Because if we are the elect, we getting saved, and that's all that there is
And
to
if we're
it.
not the elect, then we stuck with
We're
it.
stuck with it,
And it's
but
bad for us.
we have faith that we will.
For by grace are you saved through faith. And that not of yourself is a gift of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And of course, any man should boast, written about in the book of Ephesians.
What you want?
Wars and rumors of
Okay.
wars.
It's over here. I got it. Just give me one moment.
Wars and
Matthew 24 and 6.
rumors.
All right, Matthew 24. We'll use Matthew chapter 24 and verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. That's going on right now. See that ye be not troubled. Ye be not troubled.
Yeah, I
For
got
all
this one.
these things must come to pass, but the end is not near. This is Matthew 24 and 6. Yes, okay.
Red letter words of Yahweh Shai,
All
that
right.
is.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
The end is not yet. So yeah, all these wars, rumors, wars, it must come to happen. This is what's that one at? Ooh, wait, alright, I'm gonna go to Isaiah 14. There's one there. Isaiah 14. I will fulfill all my pleasure. Let me find where this one is. Here it is.
Isaiah chapter 14 and verse 24. The Lord of hosts sworn, saying, surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass, and as I have purposed, so it shall stand. What we got here? Isaiah chapter 46 and 10. Declaring the end from the beginning and from ancient times, the things that are not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure.
This is all the pleasure of the Heavenly Father Yahweh. Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is going to fulfill all his pleasure,
Pleasure.
his works. This is the pleasure of the Most High. We're in a big movie. Most High is the ultimate script writer, director, all that, whatever names you have.
Mhm.
You got everything out laid out a certain way.
The director, the producer,
Iran's going to go with Russia at this point in time.
the screenwriter.
The vocal writer, maybe. The who creates the lines for the movie?
That's the screenwriter,
Oh,
so to speak.
screenwriter.
essentially.
Yeah, all that music supervisor,
Mm-hmm.
all that.
The soundtrack.
Yeah, you got soundtrack. Most High controls everything.
The editor.
Yeah, bodily functions, all that.
In control of it all.
Yahweh Shemeshach controls everything. From that little piece of sand that's still stuck in your shoe from the last time you went to the beach 2 years ago, as you just found out about today, give an example, Yahweh Shemeshach controls everything.
Con.
Least the greatest. When that Iranian man wants to go to Russia, however he goes there, let's say he takes a plane, any amount of turbulence, even the slightest bit of turbulence, Yahweh Shemeshach controls that. Greatest, to the least to the greatest. Is all for the Most High Yahweh, his pleasure. Now, and as I have purpose, so shall it stand. My counsel shall stand, these scriptures, these prophecies shall stand. Everything's going to stand. These scriptures are going to stand. The kingdom of heaven, how it's going to be written scriptures that shall stand. Even the laws will stand for eternity.
That's right.
This is Isaiah 14:25.
Absolutely. That I will break the Assyrian in my land, and upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders.
The Assyrian in my land. The Assyrian here is USA. USA. Whatever that joke. And upon my mountains tread him underfoot. Then shall his yoke depart. What is the yoke? Slavery. Depart from off of them. And his burden, slavery, from off their shoulders. You know, you carry a school bag, you carry water, you draw water, you carry them big buckets. It's all on your shoulders. It's weighing you down. And when it comes off, that relief.
That relief. That relief is something. Or better yet, it's 100 degrees outside. You're trying to get home. You got to walk. And as soon as you can get your hands on that cold water or some kind of water, that relief of quenching the thirst.
Plus a cold room.
Yes.
Brother. When you come out here, you want to coat yourself in garlic so this stuff will leave you alone. These bugs.
These bugs, absolutely.
I'm covered in garlic. They ain't coming for me now.
That's another point. When those nuclear missiles are launched and detonated on Babylon, there's no amount of water, there's no amount of air conditioner that's going to save you.
Cut the AC up, John.
Cut the AC
We're going to defeat the nukes.
Cut the AC up to level 10. And don't work that
You're
way.
going to see this big war AC 10 feet high.
The warheads, when they detonate on Babylon, are going to melt, completely melt. We're sitting at a table that has iron legs on it. That iron is going to get melted.
Yeah, everything's going to get liquefied.
Completely melted. There's a grill in front of us. That's grill it's going to get melted. That grill was created to withstand coals of fire to barbecue. But what's coming is way hotter than that.
It's like Unto the Sun when you go to Google, like how hot is the sun, how hot is the nuke. I don't even know if Esau knows how hot this stuff is literally, but when you look it up, it's like it unto it. It's like, well, a nuclear missile is like hotter than the surface of the sun. It's like the core of the sun, something like that. You go look it up. So the nuclear missiles in the sun, they're, according to Esau, they're comparable in the heat. A nuclear missile is like a mini sun coming at you. Just Google it. Look up how hot a nuclear missile is compared to the sun.
Yes, that's why John the Revelator said the stars falling from heaven. Just paraphrasing, those are the nukes coming down as they go up and then they come down.
I can see why he said that too. They look like stars when you look at missiles.
When we look at the footage of Iran and Israel bombing each other or another country bombing each other, it does look like the stars are falling down.
It looks like it literally does.
It does look like that.
And remember, this is a man of the ancient world. He don't know about missiles and none of this. So he's looking at it looks like stars. And it's going boom, 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 mushroom clouds. He don't go ahead.
Esau likes to hide things and give misinterpretation. So in the scriptures where it says, stars falling down, missiles, nuclear missiles, arrows, nuclear missiles.
That was the stars. That makes the scriptures a dark saying there.
Mm-hmm.
That was meant to be like, not that Esau like wrote that in there for it to
Not
be.
everybody understands it or receives it for that matter.
Yeah, it wasn't like that. Esau wrote it down like that for the transliteration. Going from Greek to English and all that. It wasn't like Esau wrote that down just to hide it. But that's what John the Revelator is describing it is. So that's why it's written there, stars, because it's hidden. It's not for everybody to receive this
Mm-hmm.
truth. Because if the scriptures was written plain out, and I saw missiles falling from heaven, going upon America, melting America, right? They would have said ban the Bibles.
Yes. Nobody would want to read it because it's not for everybody. It's only for a certain group of people to receive.
And John the Revelator, when he saw the heaven depart as a scroll, this is a man of the ancient world,
Yep.
more than 2,000 years ago, and Island Patmos receiving these visions.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a scroll. He's seeing what looks like a scroll. That's what that means, the heaven departing as a scroll. Get that actually to prove the point.
Mushroom crowds.
Prove all things written by Thessalonians. Prove all things. I saw stars falling from heaven. Oh, you're using the wrong device, Salakia.
Here, switch. Okay.
Alright. Heavens depart as a scroll. Different prophets of the ancient world before John the Revelator all saw this moment. Different viewpoints of this, the day of the Lord, describing it. They all describing it the same way, different words, different things they were seeing with it.
Revelation 6 and 14.
Go over there. Alright, we're back. The thing overheated terribly. Oh, what's this? So yeah, now we're moving to a more shittier spot. Looks like wood. We can use this. Nah, I'm not using that. Phone overheated terribly. Screen went off. Back to the heavens departed as a scroll. And stars falling from heaven. Stars are nuclear missiles. Because if a real star would have fallen to Earth, like the sun and all that, and planets, if a planet would fall to Earth, this Earth would just be destroyed. If that big burning balls of gas in space would have fallen to Earth, this Earth would be gone. It's missiles. But it shows the power of Yahweh Shem Shai. It's greater than the nuclear missile.
Mm-hmm. We'll read Revelation 6 and 14. Not sure how far we got before we got cut off. And the heaven departed as a scroll.
Verse, where are you?
It's Revelation 6
Go
14.
13. I'm there too.
Okay. Revelation 6:13. And the stars of heaven fell to the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken out of a mighty wind.
Of a mighty wind. The stars of heavens, those missiles, those nuclear missiles. There may be other ballistic missiles that are not nuclear, but these stars of heaven are missiles falling, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs when she is shaken of a mighty wind. John the Revelator is comparing to something of his time period. So if you ever have a fig tree and you see a mighty wind come, big storm come, shake the wind, shake those fig trees, and you'll know what it's like unto. Now, I was eating figs the other day. They're dried figs. Now, figs, they got a little bit of weight to them, so that would be something to see a bunch of fig trees. Come on, I'm gonna look up a fig tree right now. I want to see how many figs are on that tree.
That's a bunch, like
Oh my,
7 or 8 a leaf or something like that.
Oh my, that must be a lot.
Yeah,
Them things would be.
the fig tree that the image that you just had, that's like the ones you could put in your house or like a garden, but the big ones, they carry a lot of figs.
That's a lot of missiles. Hundreds of tiny individual fruits.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, that is horrific.
Yeah.
A lot of missiles. Oh, that is a good comparison in Revelation.
Mm-hmm.
But the scriptures are divinely inspiration from Yahweh Shema Shai through the power of the Holy Spirit. When John Revelator was writing this, so that's why it's in there. Divine inspiration through the power of the Holy Spirit. Many because they're gonna go down hard.
And fast.
Untimely figs. They're not fully grown yet.
Yeah, they're not ripe.
So there's those smaller ones that just keep falling. That's a lot going on there. Imagine all that being missiles.
Mm-hmm.
Liquefy. Beast of destruction pursuing Isaiah. Beast is what? A broom. It's going to be a broom of fire, wall of fire coming in America.
Come.
Destroying, melting, vaporizing, incinerate, extinguish. All right, you got the point. Fire, extreme heat. Extreme heat. Wind. Wind is going to be ripping stuff off before the fire even get there. You know that shockwave from a bomb? Them nuclear missiles, they're going to produce a shockwave.
Yeah.
And that shockwave is going to be able to rip bark off of trees.
Tree
Those
bark. Shockwaves are going to be no joke.
You might rip somebody's skin off before the fire gets to them. That's going to be Zechariah 14. So read that, though.
The force of you being pushed by a shockwave will be so much you can get pushed a couple of miles.
Flung in the air.
And at the same time, whatever your skin and your eyes and all that melting off the bone at the same time.
And your bones melting too.
So somebody's in the air being flung in the air by a shockwave from a nuclear missile being detonated, flung in the air on fire. That's stuff that you see in TV that they try to recreate.
And horror movies.
Fireballs.
That's horror movies.
Instead of it being a fireball, it's a person actually on fire, melting with the flesh coming off the bone, getting flung in the air, thrown in whatever direction you got thrown in.
You are now the fireball being flung through the air.
Mm-hmm.
What? Boom.
That's not good.
It might hit somebody and burn them up. And they both be screaming alive. The other guy might survive to an extent, and he's now howling on top of the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's some horror movie stuff.
This is what's coming. This is what is coming. Everything that you see in your backyard, your front yard, wherever you at, all of that you see, all of that's gonna go down in flames, be melted.
Probably gonna sign off soon, but yeah, mosquitoes over here.
I know this
might move.
I think it's because of that water.
It's shady over here. It's hot over there.
They're not going over there. Yeah, that's all right.
Go ahead.
We still. Revelation 6:14, and the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Every mountain and island moved out of their places.
The scroll is the nuclear cloud, mushroom cloud, mountain. That's a lot of force in moving mountains.
And since that's going to happen when they move the mountains out of their places, the tectonic plates in Babylon are all going to shake and cause earthquakes. This is Psalm 97 and verse 5.
Go ahead.
The hills melted like wax at the presence of the Lord. At the presence of the Lord, the whole earth.
At the presence of the Lord, the whole earth. At the presence of Yahweh, at the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. The word there for hills in the Hebrew is har, which could mean mountains. So I'll read it like this: the mountains melted like wax at the presence of Yahweh. You dealt with candles, brother? How does the wax on candles melt?
It just drips.
Does it drip quick? A lot?
It depends on the flame and the intensity of the flame. If the flame is hot, it just drips down. If the flame is low, they just drip.
So a big flame and melt it quick, and
Yes.
Man, that's how these mountains are going to be. Now, the mountains are pursuing the government, so the governments are going to be destroyed. But the literal mountains are going to melt themselves.
The amount of heat that's going to be coming from the nuclear missiles when they do detonate, everything is going to be melted faster than just faster than fast. It's just going to start melting. It's just going to be withered away, burned completely down.
Man,
there's a scene in Godzilla about that when he went nuclear, and when he was walking through the city, every time he took a step, everything around him when he was taking those steps just instantly melted like it was butter in a frying pan.
Like it was wax,
Mm-hmm.
which is like butter. It's even more tolerable for Sodom and Gomorrah than that city where you go to preach and they don't listen to you. New Testament. It's going to be Sodom and Gomorrah suffered the example for what they did, their sexual depravity, their fornication, all that, going after strange flesh. They did all that, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. They were set forth as an example for that, pursuing the book of Jude. America is doing the same thing, except on a technological level. They can do better than ancient Sodom and Gomorrah. They can really Transformers, more than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Decepticons is out here. Is that a man
Yes.
or a woman? The voice looks like a female.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a female, sounds like a female, walks like a female, acts like a female. It's a man. You never knew. At the presence of the Lord of the whole earth. One way to define a woman nowadays is if she gets pregnant, that's a woman.
Yeah. Then you got the women that transform themselves looking like men.
That can be difficult to tell too. You need like discernment. You need the Holy Spirit of discernment.
Confusion, abomination,
Man, you want the Spirit to be working with you.
delicacies of Babylon. That's an example of the delicacy of Babylon.
Man, these men out here.
Oh, and another thing, California. I don't remember the name of the bill, but the bill was overturned by officials in California not to have pedophilia as a crime or something of that extent.
I would like to fact check that because I think something they keep saying a lot of fake stuff, but that could have been ruled too. That could have been true too, because I think there's a pedophilia flag. They say I forgot something to do probably with love is love. Maybe I don't know. This is Ezekiel chapter 22, verse 18.
Son of man, the house of Israel is to become dross.
It's to me become
It's
dross.
to me become dross. All they are brass and tin and iron and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver.
Dross. Israelite man looking like a woman, acting like everything's like a woman. That's dross right there. What is dross? When you know about blacksmithing, you're gonna melt down your piece of gold to turn it into something. You gotta get the impurities out of it. So you melt it, take out the dross, and throw it away. The dross is rubbish. It's garbage.
Mm-hmm.
Rubbish. What do you do with rubbish? What do you do with
You
garbage?
discard it. You get rid of it.
You discard it.
In certain cases, you burn it.
You don't want that dross anymore. That is the worthless stuff. According to this, they're saying it does not legalize pedophilia, the law for California. Supposedly
It
it's
was
fake.
something to,
Unless it was real, they said it's fake. I don't know.
unless it was something to,
Unless it was
not
real.
to charge or something to that extent. It was
Yeah.
a bill the past 3 weeks.
Something to look into. Go ahead.
Therefore, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, because ye are all become dross, behold, therefore I will gather you into the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver and brass and iron and lead and tin into the midst of the furnace to blow the fire upon it to melt it. So I will gather you in mine anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you.
So let's go into that melting. When you do blacksmithing versus a campfire for marshmallows, you do campfire marshmallows. When you do blacksmithing, you gotta heat that fire up extra. You gotta get
hot.
that air in there. So you got that
Mhm.
pump or whatever you use. You got the air, you got the coals. That fire be roaring, and that fire be hot on the inside. It's glowing and everything. You gotta get that fire hot. It's not your everyday campfire.
That's a different kind of fire.
That fire is hot. It's to melt iron and whatever
Iron and
else.
brass. That's how they make horseshoes or make a bell or make something of that extent. A sword, rather, too. You got to have it hot.
You gotta have it hot to mold it in the shape of you want it.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought about these two thugs. They're gonna be molded. Not the elect is being molded now, but they're being molded with a certain amount of care. They're being molded with care and with grace. The elect is being molded right now. But the two thugs,
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna come out of the kingdom of heaven. Remember what happened to them. They're gonna know what happened to them and how they got melted. They're gonna be molded by force
Melted.
with extreme heat and judgment. It's gonna make it hurt.
Badly.
It's gonna hurt, boy. It's gonna put some pain on you. What you think of as pain is only a shadow of it.
Mm-hmm.
But now here comes the big pain. This Jeremiah, correct me, O Yahweh. Here it is. Jeremiah 10 verse 24. Go ahead.
O Lord, correct me, but with thy judgment, not in thine anger, lest you bring me to nothing.
Yeah, these two thugs, they're going to be anger. It's going to be showed upon them. They're going to be brought to nothing. We're going to have to wrap up soon. Okay. Yeah.
Ezekiel 22 and verse 22. As silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall ye be melted in the midst thereof, and ye shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you.
Yahweh Shemeshah has going to pour out his fear upon you. So yeah, this war with this Iran and Putin and everything heating up, it's going to bring this upon
It's
America.
screen recording.
Oh, too late. And that's about it. Anything else you want to bring out, brother?
No, brother, that's it.
Oh, Zechariah 14:12.
Oh, there we go.
That's the last
Zechariah,
one. Gonna be wrapping up here. Check the phone. It's not overheating so fast. Go ahead.
And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth.
The plague wherewith Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushua was from all the people that fought against Jerusalem. Jerusalem is the place, but it's also a people. All that have fought against Israelites. Their flesh shall consume away. Read it like this. Their skin, their flesh, their skin.
Your ears, your eyes, your nose.
Oh,
your lips,
man, that's bad.
Your lips. It's all gonna just melt. The same way ice cream can melt.
Like
that's
wax.
How people like wax.
It's true. Ice cream is a good example if you don't know about wax.
That's how people are gonna melt when those nuclear missiles detonate on Babylon.
Like, ice cream is a good example. I've never really dealt with candles. But ice cream, that's an excellent example. Butter. You know, you put a stick of butter in the oven, heat it up, put 450 on it. Watch it melt.
And not only is it going to melt, it's going to burn.
Okay, that's true too. America's going to be like a
burn. It's going to
Malachi 4:1.
Burn, yeah.
Malachi 4:1 goes right into it. Their flesh, their skin, their ears, their toes, their eyes shall consume away while they stand upon their feet. They're still standing, and all that's being seared and melted and burnt away. And their eyes shall consume away in their holes, their eyes, and their eye sockets. The holes are the eye sockets, and their eyes are going to consume away in their eye sockets. And their tongue, their mouth, shall consume away in their mouth. That's horrific. The example of butter in a 450-degree oven. Malachi chapter 4.
I don't know what's wrong with this phone right now. I'm going to just type in.
Got it. Prince of the power of the air. That's what I'm thinking. It's Satan, but.
For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, and all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root or branch.
Yahweh of hosts.
Goodbye to the delicacies of Babylon, because you are going down.
That's specifically Revelation 18. Host is going in the armies, Yahweh of armies. Yahweh is a man of war. Yahweh is his name.
Lord of hosts.
Written about in Exodus chapter 15, verse 3. Burn as an oven. I was talking about 450-degree oven. This oven right here is referring to an ancient world oven. For lack of a better word, if I get it, a bread oven, we call it nowadays. It's like a bread oven. Ancient world oven. You stick your bread or pizza in there, take it out, quick. Seconds. You leave it in there too long, food's burnt out. Extreme heat. So yeah, all that do wickedly shall be as stubble. Step on stubble.
Step on stubble.
Fireplace, whatever else. And you said it burn. Ain't that going to become stubble, that butter?
Yes.
It's going to become stubble in that oven.
It's like doing a grill. If you use a coal grill, once the coals burn down, you can step on them. It's kind of crunchy, turns into little pieces. You can just step right on it.
This is going to be hotter than your 450.
Hotter than that.
And your grill oven. And the day that comes shall burn them up, leave them neither root nor branch. You know, you cut down a tree, leave that stump there with them roots. That tree can grow back. You can grow a tree from a branch. If you know about trees and stuff, just Google it. Tree will sprout up off that root, stubble it can.
That's right,
You know, you have a particular type of tree. You know, I want to grow this tree. Take a branch off. You do all this stuff to it. Then you cut it at a 45-degree angle. Stick it in water. Now you stick it in cinnamon. Stick it in some dirt. Have it keep it water moisturized. It starts growing. This place is going to need neither root nor branch. There's no coming back for America and the way this society and this philosophy. It's one of the wrath of fornication pursuant to the scriptures. That is the philosophies. That's not coming back.
Nope.
It's going to be the kingdom of heaven. There's a new world coming, a new world order. But this time it's the everlasting, real which is on the right hand side.
Not
Not a new,
Ezra 6 and 9.
not the new world order on the left hand side. Second Ezra 6 and 9 reads about, but Esau is the end of the world, Jacob is the beginning of it that follows. Word there for world referring to an age of time of rulership. You got three different words for world in the Greek. You got cosmos, particular sect of people, particular people, SECT. Ion, age, time period, Greek age, Roman age, so on and so forth, Roman time period. And you got oikumene, which means the whole inhabited world. You want to move the X close out?
Yeah, let's move. Let's go over there.
Save that stick for us.
Okay, for future
For a
purposes.
lot of time.
One moment, family.
One moment.
I'm not going back.
The bench.
That was too much to go to the bench.
The bench.
That was... Okay. Oh boy. Here you go.
Now on that note, Shalom. Kal halal Yahweh Bashim Yoshai Bashim Rakakodash. Brakti Yahweh, Brakti Yahweh Shai. Shalom. Double honor to Elder GMS Great Minister. Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh, X. So eating again.